Hi everyone, I am quitting sugar and I'm bringing you along as my accountability buddies. This is something I've been thinking of doing for a while because I have a terrible sweet tooth. And I'm pretty sure this is not uncommon for people with ADHD. When I was younger and my metabolism was a lot faster, I could get away with eating a lot of sweets and sugar and other unhealthy foods. And unfortunately, I am getting older. I'm now in my mid-40s, and perimenopause is coming for me, and I just can't eat what I used to and not start to show the physical signs of it. Recently, I've been feeling very tired and low energy, and been having a lot more ADHD symptoms mentally. It's not necessarily correlated with sugar. I have no proof of that, but I'm sure that my sugar intake is not helping. My sugar intake has also gone up in recent years as I've been using it as a coping strategy for getting me through the days when I'm feeling particularly stressed or just energy drained from having young kids. I mean, they're great kids, but they take a lot of energy. And for someone with ADHD, you need some things to lean on. Sugar has been that thing for me. So I've sort of been ignoring the problem up to this point. I knew it was a problem. I knew I ate too much. I knew I eat not very well, especially when I compare it to what I feed my kids. How come I can take care of my kids and feed them good stuff, and yet when it comes to feeding myself, I really struggle? So my diet is an awful lot of carbs because they're easy, and an awful lot of sugar because it's dopamine inducing. And the combination of those two things gets me through, 80% of my diet for the day. Supper is about the only meal where I eat really healthy, and that's got to change. But the thing that really drove home this point and is triggering my decision to do this quit sugar challenge now is because I very recently broke a fourth tooth. It's the fourth tooth that I've broken. Not because I haven't been cleaning my teeth properly, which I would like to say I'm pretty good about doing despite my ADHD. I don't floss regularly, but everything else I can keep on top of. And yet, despite that, this is the fourth tooth, and I am pretty sure that is due to my sugar consumption. Sugar is obviously very highly correlated with tooth decay and other dental problems. So even if it isn't the primary cause of my tooth issues, it's got to be right up there. I can't afford to keep losing teeth, obviously. I need to keep what I've got left. So I'm going to quit the sugar. I'm hoping it's going to have broader health benefits than just my teeth, of course. I know that sugar is correlated to abdominal fat, and I have been trying to lose a bit of weight lately, particularly since I've noticed an increase in that area since reaching my 40s and hitting the metabolism change. And exercise just hasn't been cutting it. I've done diets in the past where I've reduced my calories, and that works for a time, but it's not sustainable, really, to keep your calories artificially low. Plus, just mentally, that's tough, especially for someone with ADHD. So it comes down to sugar. I gotta get rid of it. But it's not going to be easy because it is such a dopamine crutch for me. And I have lots of little stressors in my life, and I'm not on medication. And sugar has been my coping mechanism for years now. So I think this is going to need to be done strategically and carefully. I'm going to have a plan in place when I get started with this, and it can't just be spur of the moment. Otherwise, I'm probably doomed to fail in my efforts because I won't have things to turn to or things to replace the sugar when I'm having those cravings or when I need that dopamine fix. So I'm going to spend the next little bit, maybe the next week, making up a plan and buying the supplies, the food, the snacks, the whatever I'm going to replace sugar with, so that I can start on strong footing, get off to a really strong start. And once I've done that, I'm planning to do weekly video updates with my progress, how I'm doing sticking to the no sugar diet. I think it's going to be really tough, not just from a willpower point of view, but also sugar is just in so much of the household food, like the cereals, Cheerios, or tomato sauce that I cook with for dinner. So it's going to be tough, totally removing everything from the house and not letting myself accidentally fall off the wagon. I have actually made an attempt at reducing my sugar intake once before, and I was pretty successful. I'd managed to cut back quite a lot on how much sugar I was eating. I totally eliminated sugar from my daily tea, which was something that I'd been drinking since I was a teenager, was tea with sugar. So that was a big accomplishment. Treats I would have as dessert, I significantly reduced the portion sizes of stuff like that, and I was doing pretty well. And then I got to a stressful period, and I returned to my crutch because that's what I had and that's what I knew worked. And I didn't have a backup plan for the stressful times, for something else that I could turn to for that dopamine hit. So this time I'm hoping I'll be a little bit better prepared. Hopefully I'll have a plan in place. I'll have some sense of what I can do to get through those cravings or get me through the stressful times, because they will be inevitable. They're going to come. And I don't want to let myself go back to sugar again. I've recently watched a few documentaries as well about the impacts of sugar on our bodies and the sugar industry, big sugar, and the things that they have done to suppress science behind sugar consumption and health effects. A lot of what they have done over the decades looks very similar to the tobacco industry, and we're all pretty aware of the health effects of tobacco, and that was once promoted as being, if not good for you, then at least harmless. And so I find that concerning. Plus, I just want to feel healthier. I just want to feel better, and there is a fair bit of scientific evidence to suggest that substantial sugar intake can affect just your energy levels and how well you're feeling. So those are my goals. That's my plan. I'm going to get started in about a week's time, I think. I've got my daughter's birthday coming up, and I know there's going to be a lot of sugar, at a minimum cake there. So in the interest of helping myself out, so that I don't have to deal with willpower or saying no to birthday cake, I'm going to wait till after that's passed, and that will give me some time to do some research and get a plan in place. And then I will start next week with a cold turkey approach to quitting sugar. Wish me luck. I'll see you in my first update video. Bye.